What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. I got in the Darth Vader life-size bust by Sideshow Collectibles. Now, this was delayed for like the 5th time on Sideshow, and I'm sick of the delay. Because I see it going on eBay for slightly more, and I actually saw someone who did a best offer slightly cheaper than retail, so I sent them an offer, and I knew I could cancel Sideshow since it had the 3-month delay, and I ended up getting it cheaper with tax and even rewards. It was cheaper to just go eBay. So I canceled Sideshow, got my money back, I ordered on eBay, here we are 2 days later. So Sideshow was taking way too long, so I was just sick of it. So this came in 2 boxes, the base and the head. Yeah, this is... person shipped it same day too, which is nice. There is no art box. This just comes double boxed styrofoam, nothing fancy. So it's like, not that I even need to show you guys, to be brutally honest. So that's why I'm just doing it like this. But so I've seen the Vader bust in person before. Although I wasn't really collecting too much into Star Wars at the time, so I didn't pay attention. I notice sometimes when I'm not collecting a line and I see a statue, I don't even pay attention to it. I'm just like, eh. But once I actually get into it, I'm like, man, I wish I would have freaking paid attention. So in the future, if you're ever looking at statues, you should seriously just pay attention to everything you see, because you never know if you might collect that down the line. So this person didn't have the top styrofoam for some wild reason, so he just put bubble wrap in the top portion of where the helmet's at. And so let's go ahead and here we go. And that is it, folks. So very, very simple to go ahead and set up, as you see. Just gonna get this box out of the frickin' way. This is going right next to my Iron Studios Vader 1/4. So check that out. So need to fix this a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Want it even. His head is huge, but the shoulders aren't very big. It's because he's missing what would be additional shoulder pads right here. So the bust isn't super wide. Like if he had his shoulder pads, it would be way wide. As is, it's about a standard bust width. Huge head though. I mean, look at that thing. You could definitely fit a full-size human head. It's a little dusty. I noticed Vader collects dust quite easily. So I'm just gonna dust it real quick. I don't like seeing my Vader helmets dusty. When I went to one of my buddies' house who had Vader, I couldn't believe how dusty that thing was. I was like, how can you even enjoy this? I hate seeing a statue where you could visually see dust. So yeah, let's check it out. So the base is quite small, kind of an afterthought. You barely even see it. Looks like it has some design, but it's just so tiny and it's hard to see because it's not propped up more. I mean, if it was propped up higher, it'd make the bust probably too tall because that head is huge. But there is definitely some detail in here, and it looks pretty good. It does have that Star Wars Darth Vader logo. I wish the base was bigger, to be brutally honest. I wish it was about 2 to 3 inches in diameter bigger. I think it would look better if that was a little bit bigger. But it's not a huge deal. And then you have this portion, and this feels like resin. To be honest, the helmet felt like plastic when I picked it up. It definitely felt like plastic. Now, it doesn't look plastic, which frankly is all that matters. I can see my reflection off of it. You know, it's similar to the Vader right there. You know, when I'm looking at the two and comparing, they look pretty much identical from what I can tell. You have sort of like this grill. This looks like real metal right here, probably. It feels like it's metal. It has a slight cold touch. And then the eyes. This is plastic chain. I know some people wish it was metal, and I can understand why you'd want it to be metal. I mean, there's not much to see. I know on the other one, you get the removable helmet with the Anakin head, but frankly, I would never want to display an Anakin head. I think that's hideous. So I don't even care about that. I'm a fan of masked portraits, not unmasked in general, and I never buy a bust that's unmasked. Like the Queen Studios Spider-Man with Tom Holland face, I would never buy that. I want my Spider-Man masked. Just like Vader, I want Vader, you know, I want him to have this. So there's a few ways you can pose this cape, but I just want them even, and I want to see a lot of this front part. So I'm going to fizzle with that cape a little bit more. I'm not 100% liking it, although I don't know how much fizzing you could do because this is locked in here, and you'd have to take it out and redo it. But overall, it's pretty nice bust. It costs about $1,000 with free shipping on Sideshow's website. Is it worth $1,000? I think they cheaped out on some of the materials. You know, like I said, the head is definitely plastic. The base is too small. They used a plastic chain. So Sideshow definitely cut some corners. But in general, I feel like they do on all their life-size busts. My Deadpool and Venom are both extremely lightweight. I think they're fiberglass, but it feels like the material's just a little bit cheap. Now, they look good, and that's honestly all that matters. Even if material is, you know, it's PVC or a very thin fiberglass where you could flick it and it'd break, it still looks great. So this does look good, for sure. I mean, it's the only other Vaders out there that might be better, those like custom ones that include like more chest and are bigger. But if you want a good life-size Vader bust, you know, one of the most iconic villains of the last 50 years, this is the one to get. They also have the older version where he's looking to his left, not the right. That does include the switch-out head with the Anakin helmet, or the Anakin head. I personally just hate the look of the Anakin head. I hate it so much. So I would never display that. And the actual Vader head has some gaps where this one doesn't, so that's why I chose this one. Plus, this is a lot easier to find. But there's really not a ton to go over. You know, it's a very simplistic base. You got a pretty decent base, but it's covered, so you're rarely going to see it. All you're going to see is that logo. And then this chest piece, which is covered mostly by cape. Now, you can fold this back if you wanted to, like that. Although, then it's a different color here, so I don't know if I'd even do that. But Vader does cover this part as well. You know, watching Rogue One, his front part is actually quite covered. Now, we can take this out and put it on this loop, which I'll probably try to do. But, yeah, it's pretty freaking sweet. I'd say it's maybe $150 overpriced in my opinion. But Sideshow is at least given free shipping, and it is 2 boxes. So it's probably costing them $70 to $80 to ship it. And then you get your 5% rewards. So pretty cool bust, no doubt. I think it'll look great, though, next to my Iron Studios Vader. So let's fix that cape and then place it next to it and see how it looks.